Hi everyone, this is Ishika Kesarwani and I welcome you all to the Tech Wit podcast. Today we are having Falgun Rathod. He's the founder and managing director of Cyber Octet. So we can first start with your introduction.
Yeah, thank you so much. Myself, Falgun Rathod, and it's been almost 13 years. I'm into the industry of ethical hacking and cybersecurity, and I'm listed in India's top 10 ethical hackers as well as top 10 cyber cops. I've trained more than 55,000 students across the globe related to ethical hacking and cybersecurity and various other related programs, as well as I have consulted more than 350 companies across the globe related to information security consulting services, vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, information security audits, and various other international compliance and standards.
Okay, so would you kind of tell us how you got into ethical hacking at that time? How were the scenarios at that time and how it has changed right now?
It's been like 13 years. So before 13 years, we can imagine people were not much aware and concerned about their data, their information. The companies were not much aware how basically what are hackers. Even nowadays, like still awareness is people are getting aware about this thing because the cyber crimes are happening across the globe. It is not like even just recently we can see the war between Ukraine and Russia. It was started with a cyber war, and people are getting a lot of calls. There have been a lot of transactions which are taking place from the people account. They are getting calls for getting OTPs, and a lot of other things are happening. So we can see like there are numerous things which are happening and people are getting aware. Media movies are being created. So when I started at that time, like there were very few movies through which I get to inspire, and Die Hard 4.0, Om Jai Jagdish. So it's kind of fascinating when you jump into this hacking and cybersecurity, how one can trace into this such kind of activities, that how hackers are hacking into your bank accounts, social media accounts, and everything. So basically, it looks amazing, fascinating, and that was the only thing which actually connect me with this industry.
Indeed, there's an immense requirement of security right now because everyone
Yes,
has shifted to the internet. Okay,
true,
so although cybersecurity seems like a very promising field, so how did you
true,
manage
true.
to switch yourself to the startups direction, and what were the main areas on which your business is concentrating?
See, when I started, there were very few companies which were having any products. Like people were only aware about the firewall and the antiviruses that one can have to secure their data, secure their application or the network. At that time, like there were people were not much concerned as well as not aware about this, as I said earlier. But yes, cybersecurity was one of the major concerns. See, if there are no opportunity there are actually opportunities, but people were not much aware. So basically that was my concern, that if I am going to jump into this industry after 10 and 15 years, I can imagine myself as one of the finest and one of the fastest growing company. And yes, we are as of now into the top 25 promising cybersecurity companies of India.
That's great. So, how do you see, or what avenues do you see technology will help accelerate?
See, there are a lot of tools which are coming up in the market. Microsoft, the SAP, and there are a lot of big corporates, Google, Facebook. They are doing their great in order to ensure that the security of the data, the security of the customers' data, their employee data, and everything. It should be there, and people are taking much precautions. They are following all the international compliances, the mandate compliances, and the best practices. So I believe like there are a lot of opportunities for the companies, for the people who are looking forward to make a career into this industry. So there is an opportunity of more than 3.5 lakh ethical hackers and cybersecurity experts in India by the year of 2023. And there would be a continued requirement for each and every organization who is looking for those who are looking forward to secure their data, customers' data, and there would be an ethical hackers and data protection officer, compliance officers, that would be a continuous, that it would be in huge demand for sure.
Okay, so since you're the founder of your company, being a leader comes with a lot of responsibility, right? So, as a leader, do you see yourself as a ingredient with a bright future, and how do you use your leadership abilities to get the most out of the business? How do you check up on everyone that everything is going on the right path?
Right path. Like being a leader and doing a lot of things in the industry. See, it is not about. I believe like learning is a continuous process, and see, someone like me and who is into the technical industry, they have to follow all the things which are coming into the industry on the regular basis. And technology is kind of same. Every day when you wake up, you come, you see like there are something coming up, some kind of malware which are coming up, some kind of attacks, 0 day attacks, and there are a lot of things which are happening in the industry, and you should be updated with that. And if you are not updated, you simply get outdated. And it's a continuous process for your team as well, that your team should be updated. It is not just you, but your team should also be updated. They should be giving their customers regular updates, what is happening and what are the vulnerabilities basically that can attack, that can create or that can impact on the business. So there are a lot of things technically rather than logically and the business way. Because being a technical person, I would suggest that is the only thing that if you are into the cybersecurity industry, you have to stay updated that what is basically happening in the industry, and you have to focus on what is coming next. So we can imagine like blockchain technology, NFT. There are a lot of new technologies which are AI ML based, a lot of tools which are coming up, and most of the products are focusing on this kind of technologies. So it should be our responsibility that the data of that corporates or the individuals would stay secure. That is one point. And another point I would like to say is, see, security is everyone's responsibility. It is not just a responsibility of that organization who is going to protect your data. It is also responsibility of that individual or the organization, like the data, who owns that data. Okay, so I have seen there are a lot of people in India and in other countries as well. They are not taking, or they are not concerned about the data actually, that what can happen with that data or what someone can do with that data. Even there are a lot of fake profile, because I've been part of national and security agency for different cyber crimes and any like cyber kind of activity which are happening across the nation. So I have seen like lots of people are very less concerned, and they have to take some kind of action. They have to, there should be some kind of an privacy basically. So people just find a follower, they are getting good number of followers and they just pay for that, or either they would be selecting the request of each and every individual who is following them. So from the individual perspective, from the corporate perspective, yes, if you see there are businesses coming up, then there are also loopholes, there are vulnerabilities. Supply chain management is a major concern as of now. So, see, learning is a continuous process, and secondary, the leader is always the one who is continuously following the learning process and who also trains for the sake of the security of the customer.
Okay, you also talked about data that we should be concerned about it.
Yeah.
What if I don't have anything in my phone, and should I be concerned for that also?
Definitely, definitely. See, people think like I'm having iPhone or I'm having such kind of a phone which is much secure. Okay, so it is not like that. See, every technology will be having some kind of an loopholes or some kind of an vulnerabilities that before attacker is going to identify, you need to get aware about that. Okay, so I would suggest each and every individual to take care of all the security updates which are coming up into the industry. They have to be updated with the vulnerabilities. What is vulnerabilities? At least get aware about the terminologies which are there into the industry. So I will say someone can easily hack into your WhatsApp or into your phone with the help of just few commands within just few minutes, because there are a lot of freeware tools which are into the market, and even people are also charging for on the rent basis. They are giving the tools on the rent basis. Okay, so we should be aware about this kind of technologies, the tools, the updates which are into the industry. So it is simply not you don't need to be in kind of a geek for getting the update. You can just simply go to Google News and just search for hacking, search for cybercrime, or search for cyber attacks, and you will get the update. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, so can you tell us a bit about the market size of this industry and how has a startup been structured up in case of investors to decide to get involved, and how is it affecting the company's products decisions?
Yeah, there have been number of companies which have got funded for in cybersecurity industry, and it's been said like there is a requirement of there would be an 1.5 billion, 1.5 trillion cybersecurity industry by the end of the 2025. And it's not about just one products, that also includes the services of cybersecurity, the different kind of services. When people say cybersecurity service, it is not just one cybersecurity service. There are a lot of things that comes into this. Like when we talk about web application security is just only one thing. There is mobile application security, there is IoT application, IoT devices, mobile devices, there are network, there is API, there are cloud, there are blockchain which is coming up. So even recently there is an industrial control system. So the devices which are used in machineries, used in factories for the manufacturing purpose, these kind of devices are also getting hacked. So a lot of services are there, a lot of different kind of products are being developed in the cybersecurity industry. So yeah, there is a huge scope for the startups who are coming into the cybersecurity. And as I said, a lot of investors have approached us, but we are looking for to get from our side itself. So we have not received any kind of funding from our side. We have been approached by various investors, but like it's okay to get it done by own. That's a different kind of feeling. Yeah, there are some kind of disadvantages and limitation, but it's okay.
That's great. So, you have been to a really long way now. It's been 13 years. There must be a lot of stuff that, you might have struggled in. You might have to, get out of your comfort zone in many scenarios. So, would you like to share your learnings from your journey to the listeners?
Yeah, I would like to say it is not like you have to just do it, the managerial stuff. You have to do each and everything. Either it is digital marketing, it is kind of in counseling, it is kind of sales approach, it is kind of follow up. We have got team, but still you have to be there for each and every activity that involves in any organization. So yeah, you should not be in your comfort zone. Okay, so if you are in going into your comfort zone, basically no customer is going to come to you and going to approach you, सर आप मुझे ये सर्विस मिलेगी आपकी तरफ से, सर पैसे मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. So it is not kind of like that. We have to approach them, we have to we have to adopt some kind of a marketing strategy and everything, and you have to involved in such kind of activities as well. So you cannot just sit on your good chair, office boss chair, and you have to just order that do this and do this. So you have to get out of your chair and do all the kind of activities which are required to build your startup, to build your empire. So it is always, and even I believe it is, as I said, even after 20 years, 25 years, or 50 years, you have to do the same, and that makes you as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's really good. On that note, we can end today's session. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. It
Thank you
was a
so much.
very, very insightful session. And to all the listeners, we're going to come with many more videos like this. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.